Every single one of you knows how important it is that we get a handle on plastic pollution in California, and in fact in the world. We've all seen the heartbreaking photos of dead sea animals. We all have to explain to our children why there's going to be more plastic in the ocean by the time they grow up, and there are going to be fish in the ocean. We know that this is a product that is eternal, that doesn't biodegrade, that is literally killing parts of our planet. And I will tell you something about this particular bill as someone who's worked on this bill in my committee for the past year. This bill is also an example of a tremendous amount of compromise, of an author who has spent hours and hours and hours speaking to the broad group of stakeholders that are involved in this issue. I have spent hours talking to the stakeholders involved in this issue. And I can tell you a few things. You're never going to be able to deal with this issue by making everybody completely happy. It's just not going to happen. Let me tell you where we were a year ago with this bill. We had a lot of members who supported industry and weren't going to vote for it. We also had a lot of members who consider themselves environmentalists and conservationists who didn't want to vote for it because they didn't think it went far enough. They thought it was too broad. They thought that it would be impossible to enforce. So you really had a bill that had a long way to go. And where are we today? We are now with a bill that's been worked on by professionals in this area, by experts in this arena, with an eye towards being practical, being workable, being fair, with having off-ramps and speed bumps for industry to give them time to comply. A bill that is enforceable, that's narrowed to only plastics and only some of the most difficult plastics. A bill that actually has a chance to work and do something and to set a standard for the rest of the country to follow. Now, that's not going to happen if we keep saying that we're not going to act, if we keep saying that we're going to wait for something that we think is perfect. You know what? You're never going to get to where every group thinks is perfect in this. But what you can get to is something where we finally take some responsibility in this state for this product. Now, I come from municipal government, as a lot of you do from local government. And everyone's going to talk about costs on this, cost to industry, cost to everyone. You know who's paying the full cost of plastic pollution in California? Taxpayers. That's who. Any of you who have a municipality or a locality that has its own landfill, as my city does, knows that it's the people in that community who pay every single dime for the disposal of this product, for pollution cleanup. Any of you who are on the coastline know that you are paying for the pollution, that you're dealing with the impacts to tourism, that you have to answer those questions if you're in local government about why there's plastic pollution all over the beach. The industries who ship this into our area, they pay none of that. They don't pay a dime. They're off the hook. They say that there's costs involved to their consumers. You know what? Right now there's cost to your constituents in real dollars. They are paying for that. Industry has to take some responsibility. And what we're asking for here is the bare minimum. Use recycled content. Use it. Yes, maybe right now there's pennies more to use it, but that's money that's going to be saved by your taxpayers when they don't have to pay for the collection of that material and the disposal of that material. I've got a lot of really wonky points I could give you about how this creates jobs, which we all know. Achieving a 75% recycling rate will double the number of recycling jobs in California. I could talk to you about how the infrastructure is going to be created by this and creating markets. I could talk to you again about how they've exempted bottle bill containers. They've exempted everything except for plastic. They talk to you about how they've exempted retailers like Etsy and the small people, the online retailers that only facilitate sales between third parties, that they exempt provisions that require, that are in conflict with federal law and guidance, especially about agricultural products. They also have CalRecycle look at food waste to make sure that this is practical and doable, that there's reporting requirements. On and on and on, industry has been accommodated at every single turn with amendments and with what's in this bill. We can all come up with reasons why we don't want to support this, but what's important today, and I'm going to ask you, is to come up with reasons why you can support it. I worry deeply about the planet, my child, that my little girl is going to inherit. We can't afford to say nothing and to not try. We've got year after year after year to refine this and make this work, but we've got to be brave enough to take that first step. I implore you, Find a way to get to I today, because it's inconceivable that California can't be the ones to start dealing with something that is impacting our coastlines and our communities so deeply. Thank you so much.